Welcome back to my workshop. Now you're probably here because you want to know about this, which is the Stanley Fatmax V20 angle grinder. So basically I've managed to go out and buy one of these. It cost me £165, that's English money, and I got an extra special bargain with it, which I'll tell you about later. So what is it? So this is the Stanley Fatmax SFMCG400D1K. Catchy name, but it's basically an angle grinder which I've got to replace my trusty old work zone angle grinder, which is still going strong, but it's starting to get a bit broken. Okay, so let's open the box and see what you get for your money. So what do you get? Now, first of all, it comes in this rather nice blow molded case. So if you don't store your tools any other way, this is probably a good safe way to store it. Now it's called the Stanley Fatmax 18 volt cut-off tool. Now, effectively it's an angle grinder, but it's been marketed as a cut-off tool. Now why, I don't know, it's quite unclear. But this package comes with a 2 amp hour battery and a charger. Okay, so as I say, it's in this nice blow molded case. When you get it, the stickers seal the edge, so you have to cut here and here. Okay, on the back it's just got a few little details saying about the new performance in the battery, because the batteries have changed since their last range. Okay, so let's have a look, see what you get inside. Okay, so obviously you get the angle grinder, you get one 2 amp hour battery, which is this one. Now this is the V20 range, so this is a 2 amp hour battery. You get a handle, which has got a tool in the side, which I'll show you in a second. You get obviously the main angle grinder, and you get a battery charger. Get a book of words, and as I say, this blow molded case. All right, so that's what you get for your £165. Okay, so let's have a look at what we got. Now obviously you get the book here, which most people don't bother reading, but this one seems quite user friendly, and it's actually got some interesting information, so it's probably worth having a look through this. It's also got some specifications, which I'll quickly go over now if you're interested. 18 volts, rated speed of 9,000 RPM, disc diameter is 125 millimeters, disc bore is 22 millimeters, grinding disc maximum thickness 6 millimeters, cutting disc 3.5 millimeters, spindle length 14 millimeters with the inner flange fitted, and spindle length without the flange is 19.5 millimeters. Okay, and it weighs 2.2 kilograms. All right, so it's not that heavy, which is a good thing. So don't lose this. It's quite a handy thing to keep, but I'll just put it over there. You get a 3-year guarantee, which means you get that, but you have to register your new tool with Stanley. Okay, so that's probably worth doing. Right, what do we get? Battery charger. Okay, it's a standard sort of usual battery charger. Battery slots in like this to charge it. Usual indication, flashing green light means it's charging, solid green light means it's fully charged, and flashing green with a red light means it's a temperature issue. Okay, on the back here it's got 2 little hooks, so you can put screws in the wall, so you can mount this on the wall to make it easier to charge. Okay, so this looks pretty good. Maximum charge rate is 18 volts at 2 amps. Now that's the charge rate, it's not the maximum battery size. Okay, it's a nice thing. Okay, the handle you get with it, it comes with this, which is a tool for changing the blade. Now it's quite handy because there's nothing worse than when you want to change your disc that you can't actually find a spanner. But this comes with the handle, so it's always with you. Okay, and this obviously fits onto the body in one of 3 positions, like this. Okay, so then it's always available for you to change. Right, let's have a quick look at this fella. Okay, so it's an angle grinder. You all know what an angle grinder looks like. This is obviously a cordless one because you get a battery with it. Now this is quite nice because the handle is quite slim, so it's easier to get hold of. Okay, you've got a slightly rubberized handle, trigger is here. Okay, it gives you a few details on here. It's got a lock on the top, so lock, can't push the trigger, unlock, you can push the trigger. Okay, not much else on the other side. Here there's supposed to be a belt hook, but I didn't get that with this kit. I don't know why, but it just didn't come with it. Okay, it's got a knuckle guard here, so if you're using it, you're not going to bang your knuckle and accidentally press the trigger. That's a nice thing. You get the disc guard here, which you can adjust without any tools. Okay, so if you're cutting at a certain angle, that may need adjusting. Okay, so that's a toolless adjustment of the disc guard. Okay, there's not much else to it really. It's a nice weighted thing. Oh, you've got a disc lock here, so when you're changing your disc, you push the button and then you can change the disc. Okay, right, that's all its main components. Right, so before we plug the battery in, just a quick word about the battery. Now this is the new V20 range, okay, new V20 range. Now this is supplied with a 2 amp hour battery, which is this one. Now when I originally wanted to buy one of these, they had the 18 volt range, this one, okay, but dusty. They are now different. The battery fitment is different. Okay, so you can't use the older style battery with the V20 range. Now there's supposed to be some improvements with the V20 as far as battery memory etc goes, but you can't use the new V20 range on the old 18 volt range, and vice versa. You can't use that old range in the new V20 range. Okay, which is a bit of a shame because I've already got batteries for other Stanley tools. I'm a big fan of Stanley tools, but with these ones, obviously I could take the battery out of this one and I could use it in this one. Okay, but now I'm obviously limited. I've now got to buy the V20 range. Okay, so before we plug the battery in, this is the one that was supplied with it, the 2 amp hour battery. Now when I bought this, because it was over a certain price, Stanley had a deal where you could apply and get a free battery. Okay, now obviously this is quite a heavy consumer of battery power, so a 2 amp hour one would probably be okay, but if you're doing anything for long periods of times, you need more. So the offer was, if you apply, you can possibly get a 4 amp hour battery, which is what I did. Okay, I just applied, I started up a my Stanley account and I got a battery free. Okay, so it's a 4 amp hour battery, which normally would retail for about £70. I got it for nothing. Now I used to have the same sort of deal when I was buying my other tools, and I applied for the battery, but it never turned up. Okay, but this time they've been true to their word and I got a 4 amp hour battery. Now this is obviously bigger, okay, and probably so much better. Right, but for now what we'll do is we'll look at this 2 amp hour with the tool. Let's have a look. Okay, so if you're watching this, you're probably familiar with power tools, battery power tools, so this is probably not worth me going into this is how you plug it in. But it's the same as most other tools. You literally just slide it in and we're done. Okay, so now this is unlocked. And it goes round. Okay, shall we put a disc in it? Right, so before we start using this thing, let's have a look at some of the discs that I will probably be using with it. Now, most of my stuff is wood, so I'll be using some sanding discs, but for very rough work. But I'll show you the metal cutting discs and other type of discs that I use. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so the first discs I'm probably going to be using is these ones. Okay, and these are Ferrex discs and they're metal cutting discs. Okay, these are good value. I bought these ones in a pack, a single pack. There's 11 discs. Now you can tell these are cutting discs, okay, because they're very thin. Okay, very, very thin. So you never grind with these, you only cut. Okay, because if you grind with these, the chances are they'll shatter. And if it's going around at 9,000 RPM, that's going to do some damage. Okay, so these discs are, as I say, they're 125 millimeters across, and the bore in the middle is 22 mil. If you can see that upside down. Okay, so in theory, these ones should fit, no problem. Okay, so they're cutting discs. Also, another set I bought from Aldi's, Ferrex. These are cutting and grinding discs. In this set you get some grinding disc or a grinding disc, which you can see is much thicker. Okay, so a quick comparison between that and that. Okay, cutting, grinding. Okay, also you'll notice on this grinding disc there's a little bit of a recess here, and the reason there's a recess is so when you are grinding you can get the angle grinder closer to the surface. Okay, so that's why there's a recess in some of them. Some of them are flat, but some of them have got a recess. But this is thicker, so this is for grinding. Okay, and also in this pack I got some more cutting discs. These are slightly thicker, but these ones are for metal and these ones are for stone. Okay, so for cutting bricks or paving slabs, this is the ones you want to use. For cutting metal, these ones. Okay, so these are all from Aldi's. A final set I bought from Aldi's, again the Ferrex version. Okay, now these are diamond encrusted cutting discs. Okay, these ones are metal, whereas the other ones are like the resin based. Now these are for dry cutting and wet cutting and dry cutting of stone. Okay, these are very good. They'll cut through like stone and granite and all sorts of stuff. Okay, and they're encrusted with some diamonds. They do last quite a while, but for the value, these were really good value. Okay, so they're all cutting discs. Another thing I use is these discs. Okay, flappy discs. Now there's different types. This one here is for steel and stainless steel, a blue one. Okay, this is a zirconium aluminium oxide, and this one is just aluminium oxide, which is for steel, aluminium and wood. Okay, so this is normally the type I use. These remove a hell of a lot of material very quickly. Okay, both of these were from Work Zone, so they're from Aldi's as well. Again, good value for money. One other last thing I will probably look at is the use of this type of wire wheel. Okay, so you've got the drum type and you've got the wheel type. Okay, both of these should be suitable for this angle grinder. Right, let's fit one of them. Okay, as I mentioned, these are my favourite, the flappy discs. Now there's two different types here. These were both Work Zone ones, so also from Aldi's, which are good value for money. The blue ones here are for steel and stainless steel, and the brown ones here are for steel, aluminium and wood. So this is the one I normally use. Right, to fit it to the angle grinder. Right, remember I said on the back there's a spindle lock, so you basically push that with your thumb. Okay, probably a good idea to remove the battery just in case. Okay, push that with your thumb, turn the spindle until it locks, remove your key from the handle, okay, and just unlock this, spin this off, sit the disc on and make sure that it sits on the ring inside. You probably already know this because you've probably used them before. Okay, I'll sit down there, wind this down and give it a lock. Don't need to over tighten it. Okay, so that's now ready to go. Don't forget to put your spanner back, otherwise it won't be there when you look for it next time. Right, as usual, before you even spin this up without going onto anything, put safety glasses on unless you're an idiot. Okay, save your eyes. Try again. Okay, it's fairly quiet. I think it said about 76 decibels, so that's quite quiet, but in theory you should be wearing ear defenders as well. Let's quickly sand something. Okay, so what we're going to try first is I've got a little metal pipe here which is coated in some sort of plasticky paint. I know it's metal because it's magnetic, well, magnets stick to it. Okay, so it's not copper or anything like that. What I'm going to do is first of all see how well it takes off the covering and then I'm going to try and cut it. Okay, it's starting to look like a Stanley shop in here. Look at all this lot. Right, and I've got my Stanley little vise here and I'm going to clamp it in there. Yeah, that works a treat, no problem there. Okay, so clean the paint off, easy, that's no problem at all. Right, so let's quickly change this disc for a cutting disc, see if we can chop through this. Ho ho! Right, well that's pretty bloody impressive. That's just using the cutting disc and obviously the flappy paddle just to clean off some paint. Right, I could carry on cutting things all day, but what I want to do is check to see if it makes any difference with the 4 amp hour battery. Okay, so with the 2 amp hour battery, this is fully charged. Okay, that's probably the rated no load speed. Now put on the 4 amp hour battery. Doesn't make any difference. Now the difference you'll notice is when you're doing some heavy work. Okay, so if you're grinding for a long time or if you're using a wire wheel, that's when the 4 amp hour battery will come into its own. Okay, this will probably not last as long as this one. Okay, so either are a good option, but this is your better option. Okay, especially if you can get it for nothing. Okay, just a quick word on some other accessories. Now this has obviously got a sort of standard size shank on it. Okay, so can you use this type of thing and this type of thing. Okay, so wire wheels that fit on an angle grinder. There's no reason why not, but let's check anyway. Batteries off, spindle lock. Now putting these on, you remove both of the collars, okay, and literally, yeah, it fits. Okay, spin them on, tighten them up. Most of them have got a nut here for you to tighten. Okay, so that fits on there okay. Let's quickly slide the battery on, glasses on. Lovely. Right, so that's about it. That was a quick look at this, which again was the Stanley Fatmax SFMCG400D1K. Now, I think this comes in different packages with different chargers and different batteries, but this is the one I got, and it was £165. So for the price, I think this is a really good deal. Don't forget to apply for your free battery, which is the 4 amp hour battery. As I say, these are normally about £70 each. Which is a bargain in my mind, so that makes this whole package really worth it. Obviously, if you buy other brands, they will probably be a lot more expensive. There are cheaper brands, but are they going to be as good? Time will tell. Okay, I like this. I like all Stanley tools. I'm not sponsored by Stanley, so this is purely my opinion. This is good, and hopefully it's going to be a good thing for the workshop. But it's going to replace my little Work Zone 1, which I've had for quite a few years. This has been excellent, okay? But it's now been superseded by this. Right, thank you very much for watching. I hope this was of some use, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Okay, unlocked. No battery, what a wally. Welcome back to my channel. No, welcome back to my workshop. Glasses. This unit, there was a special offer. Ho ho! Right, anything else? Okay, and now my phone's ringing, so I've got to answer that.